Good afternoon. I'm Lieutenant Joey Crosby with the Myrtle Beach Police Department. First, I'd like to begin by thanking the Drexel family for being here today. I'd also like to thank our partners in this investigation, many of which are standing here behind me today. And I'd also like to thank you, the media, for being here today, present to cover this matter. On Wednesday, April the 24th, 2009, Brittanee Drexel left Rochester, New York with friends to travel to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina for spring break. The next day, Brittanee disappeared. We know that Brittanee made it to the Blue Water Resort. The last time that we saw her was on a surveillance camera leaving the resort. On April the 25th, 2009, that image was captured, and since then, Brittanee has been missing. Since that time, the Myrtle Beach Police Department has been working diligently to find this vibrant young lady. We have conducted hundreds of interviews and followed just as many leads across this country. We, the Myrtle Beach Police Department, and our law enforcement partners have a unified goal. We are working together to discover and find out what happened to Brittanee Drexel and to provide closure to this grieving family. We met with the Drexel family the very first day. We made a promise to them. We promised to do everything in our power, use every resource available, work together as a team to achieve that goal. We will not give up. We will not stop this investigation, and we will continue to work this investigation until we have achieved this goal. As many of you are aware, cell phone evidence that's collected from Brittanee has led us to this area of South Carolina. I now ask FBI Special Agent in Charge, David Thompson, to share with you how our continued efforts will be moving forward. Agent?
Thank you. My name is Dave Thomas, the Special Agent in Charge for the FBI here in South Carolina. And I echo the comments. I appreciate the family being here, the media being here. And the FBI has been involved in this investigation with our closest partners, Mark Keel with SLED, Sheriff in Berkeley County, Charleston County, Warren Gall, Myrtle Beach asked us early on to help and see if the FBI had any resources in this investigation. And the agents and the investigators have worked tirelessly from day one on this investigation. What we've come to discover through the course of the investigation now is that Brittanee Drexel did leave the Myrtle Beach area. We believe she traveled to this area around McClellanville and the North Charleston, South Georgetown area, and we believe she was killed after that. We're here today seeking the help from the public, from you, the media, and helping us get the word out about that. We know this is a great community. We know there's great people here. We know there's people that saw something, heard something, that has information that could lead us to closing out this investigation and bringing closure to this family who's dealt with this awful tragedy. And anytime you work an investigation like this, they're extremely difficult. And we understand, and I said we've looked at thousands of leads so far, but there's still information that we need. I've been authorized by the director of the FBI to offer a $25,000 reward leading to the arrest and the conviction of those responsible for killing Brittanee Drexel. And so again, after this, we urge anyone with information, no matter how insignificant you think it is, no matter how small, if you think we already have that information, to please call in to the tip lines and let us know, because that information may be that one significant piece is all it will take to push us over the edge on this. And again, we're appealing to the community of good people here because we know there's tremendously good people in this community, and we know that people have heard something or seen something, and they may not even know how significant that information is. And also, I will say that in other high-profile investigations that we've done in this state, that the FBI has charged people that we found that knew information and didn't come forward. And I won't hesitate to ask the U.S. Attorney's Office to do that again in this investigation. I would like to think that people would come forward on their own, but we do know that there are people here that understand and know what happened. And during the course of our interviews, if we find out that people do know what happened, they do know what happened to Brittanee Drexel, and they didn't come forward, I won't hesitate to ask U.S. Attorney's Office to charge those people also. We will take a limited amount of questions from you. Obviously, we can't get into the details of this investigation, but if there's other information we can give you, we will take some limited questions.
Sir, I'm sorry. I'm going to bring up Don Drexel first, if you don't mind. Thank you. Ms. Drexel. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Don Drexel, mother of Brittanee.
First of all, I want to thank all of the law enforcement that is assisting on Brittanee's case. After 7 long years of waiting and praying for the return of my daughter, we know she isn't coming home alive. Brittanee's life was stolen from her in a brutal and senseless fashion. I need your help in bringing the people responsible for her death to justice. They needed to be held accountable for taking the life of our precious young daughter. She had her whole life ahead of her. She had a lot of dreams and aspirations. They could have done this to anyone's child, but they did it to mine. So I am here now asking for your help. I know there's a mother, father, sister, brother, son, or daughter in the North Charleston County and South Georgetown County areas that has information that will help solve the murder of my daughter Brittanee. Please help us to bring these killers to justice. Help us to put them in prison where they belong for the rest of their useless lives. They will never again take one of our children away in such a brutal fashion. We need your help so we can find Brittanee's remains and bring her home to lay her to rest. And make sure that monsters like this can no longer victimize this community or kill anyone else's child.
We need your help. We need everyone's help to bring something from her home to us. We need your help. We need someone to help us. 7 years. Please help.
We just want Brittanee to know that we love her so much and that we will get her justice. Thank you.
At this time, we'll open it up for a little bit of question and answers. Don and the family will not participate in that question and answer time right now. Appreciate your understanding with that. But if you have questions for law enforcement here, please.
For several years, this has been treated as a missing persons case, and now you say, obviously, it's a death case. When did you reach that conclusion? When did you come to the conclusion?
I think we've known it for some time, but in interest of trying to protect the parents and still maintain hope that we could bring her back alive, we've kept that information, and decisions were only reached last night by some of the executives here on how much information we should actually put out and how honest we should be. And I think we all came to the conclusion collectively that regardless of how difficult it is for the family, we met with the family yesterday to brief them, it is very difficult, but the public needs to know, the family needs to know, and we need to come forth with as much information as possible to try to get someone in the community to come forward. And we do know that Brittanee was in this community for several days. It wasn't just a one-time passing through. So by being here for several days, other people came in contact with her, saw her, know that she was here. So we know there is information in the community here. And that's again why we ask people to please look at the photographs, look back at their memories, think about things they may have seen, they may have heard of any of the news coverage, and if they have information, to please bring that information forward.
Sir, you're on her own. Do you believe that she left Myrtle Beach?
We think she was held here against her will, at least for a portion of the time that she was here.
Do you believe she left Myrtle Beach on her own?
We don't know whether she did or not.
Do you think that this?
What is the significance of the phone bill? What sort of information can you tell us about what happened right here?
We know from the investigation that she was here in this general area, from the south, from south, kind of the South Georgetown area, North Charleston, McClellanville, centralized to this area, which is why we're having the press conference here, why we're appealing to the community here. Our investigation tells us that she was here.
Can you tell us why?
We know she was alive from the investigation.
Do you think she went anywhere other than here?
She could have went several different places, but in this general area. She was in this general area for several days.
Do you believe she was killed here?
Yes. I'm not going to talk about specifics of evidence and what we have on evidence, but again, we have enough information that we're confident the fact that she was here.
That time frame, 7 days, give us a sense of how long you think that was.
Only that it would have been several days. We don't know exactly.
Is that after she left Myrtle Beach?
Last seen at the Blue Water?
Yes. We believe she traveled from the Blue Water here to this general area and was here for a period of several days.
What makes you think she was killed?
There's been an exhaustive amount of evidence in this case. The investigators are certain that that's what's happened, and can't give you exact details on that, but we are certain of that.
Do you have any people of interest in this case? You had mentioned earlier that if people were withholding information, they would be charged. Do you have any sort of suspects?
We have a lot of people that we've talked to, and there's a lot of people that we're going to talk to, and the investigation is still very open. It's been very open for day one. I said the investigators in this case from Myrtle Beach, SLED, and the other investigators have taken this case personally as they do every missing person case, and they've worked it tirelessly from day one. And as they said, when a case like this is open, it's never closed. Doesn't matter how long it takes us. When the FBI opens a case, when SLED opens a case of this nature, we never close it until we resolve it. So we will continue the investigation however long it takes us to make sure that we do get to the end.
Is there
When you
anything
said
about
that
this
she
case
was-
that leads you to believe it could be connected to other cases you're looking at in this area?
Don't want to comment on that other than we're focused here on this specific case. We're talking about Brittanee Drexel, and we want to bring a closure to this case and what happened to her right now.
When you say that she was held against her,
Billboards and these flyers in the past 7 years?
On this case specifically, there's been numerous flyers and things put out in the Myrtle Beach area in different areas. I think the difference is we haven't offered a $25,000 reward. There was a reward offered early on in the case to see if we could generate information. And I said I've been in contact with the director who authorized me to up that reward to a $25,000 in the hopes of, again, that if someone does know something, we would hope they would come forward anyway. But if that pushes someone into coming forward, then that's great, and we're happy to do that and assist any way we can.
when you say that she was held against her will, do you think that more than one person was involved or just a single person?
It's hard to know at this point.
And do you know how she was held against her will?
We do not.
Has anything happened here in the last few months or weeks that has prompted this news conference? New information come to the fore, or what?
There's new information that's been coming in consistently from the day of the investigation. The investigators, like I said, have worked this thing tirelessly. It's just collectively looking at, we think we're at a point where one or two small pieces of information could put us over the edge, and we've centralized that here and trying to gather the community. As Ms. Drexel said, there's mothers here, there's fathers here, there's brothers here, there's sisters here, there's people in this community. This is a good community of great people, and then we're reaching out to those people, and they may have information they don't even know, and something happened they didn't realize that she was actually in this area, that if we do this blanket and push and hope from you with the media of helping us, that we can get enough information that those people will realize and come forward.
During
Just
those
for
several days that she was in this area, did she have contact with any of her friends who may have been still in Myrtle Beach, or anybody else for that matter?
No,
Was she in somebody's custody when she was operating around here? Was she free to go get a
she was
gun?
not free to go, no.
Okay.
So no one from New York was involved, you believe?
We don't know exactly who was involved and from what area, from Myrtle Beach to here. I mean, we're focusing on this area because we know she was here, but there could be numerous people involved. We're still investigating all of that.
And you say that people may, somebody may know information and you're just waiting.
Somebody does know information.
And so what would you say to someone who might fear for their own lives to come forward?
The FBI's here, SLED's here, the other law enforcement people are here. We have an outstanding reputation of protecting people and information, that if they come forward, they will be protected. We'll ensure that, and that anything we can do to assist them, we will.
Special Agent, you said you know she was here, and if I missed it, I apologize. In addition to the cell phone, is there evidence that leads you to that conclusion?
We know she was here in this area. That's significant enough. And as she was here for more than one day, so she come in contact with other people while she was here. And so the fact that she come in contact with people and that she was in this area for several days, we know people here have information that could assist us. They may not know that they have the information, but again, we're hoping this will jog their memory and get them to thinking back during that time period.
What kind of contact was she having with folks in this area?
We don't know.
These are people beyond those who are holding privilege.
We can only assume a lot of things at this point, but if you're in an area for several days, that you would have contact with multiple people probably during that time frame.
Officer Crosby had said that the investigation was gone
everywhere.
We've received leads from all across the country. We've received tips from numerous locations. We've investigated each one of those.
And any from upstate New York specifically, or is that?
Initially in the investigation, yes, sir, we did interview folks from upstate New York as well.
Okay, thank you all. Appreciate it. Thank you very much.